point. Notice J.C. Sheldon is not out there for the Buckeyes. She is still struggling with a lower leg injury. She's only been able to play 5 games this season. She averaged 16 points across those 5 games, but the Buckeyes have been able to keep their momentum up without her presence on the court.
Ohio State wins the tip. They'll have possession first. Mikulashikova, top of the key. Looking and dribbling left side. Leaves it off for Mikesell, who takes a shot from the wing. Off the mark on the 3. Too strong off the front iron. And now the other way come Albany. Great Danes. Ball in the hands of Morgan Haney. Lucia DeCortes kicks it over to Lily Phillips. Top of the key, 7 seconds on the shot clock, now inside. Battling on Mikulashikova is Lucia DeCortes, and she's off on her post shot. Here comes Cotie McMahon. Down the floor, into the paint, 2 steps, layup is good, and 1.
Cotie McMahon, she's the Big Ten Freshman of the Week. After her efforts against Michigan State, she's been having an outstanding season as just a freshman, making a name for herself, averaging 9 points per game. She has 24 steals already this season, so you're going to see her both offensively and defensively.
That's the first shot for Ohio State at the charity stripe. They're shooting a team 69.5%. They average 14.1 made free throws per contest. Great Danes having some trouble inbounding the ball, and they finally do. This is to the hands of Hawley. And she had it tied up underneath the basket. We'll call jump ball. It'll stay with Albany. Hoping to have quicker success throwing it inbounds this time, and they do. Haney directing traffic, trying to get the ball across half court. Had some trouble doing so, overshot her intended target, and now we'll get another jump ball just in front of us here at the table.
Danes, as we mentioned, they've struggled a bit offensively, so that full court pressure is really going to force them to play carefully bringing it up the court.
Ohio State taking a break from their usual home white uniforms in favor of their gray digs. Going against Albany in their purple road uniforms. Meanwhile, the first bucket from the field for Cotie McMahon. She had that made free throw. Make it her second, actually. She had the and one just moments ago. Up the floor comes Albany. They had to slow it down. Lily Phillips with it now. Commanding from the center logo. Picks up her dribble. Now with Heigerstrom. Right hand dribble for Phillips. Takes 2 steps, kicks it out. Battling inside, now left for Heigerstrand, and she beats the shot clock for her first bucket.
That was a great back cut. Ohio State has really been turning up their defense, so if you can beat them with a cut like that to the basket, that's what the Great Danes are going to have to do. That was a great effort.
Theory out to Mikulashikova on the wing. Now over to Green. She's filled in this commanding position for J.C. Sheldon, who is out with a lower leg injury. Here's Theory driving, kicks out for Mikulashikova. She tests her range and just off the mark. Over and a miscommunication on the pass there. She was looking for Grace Heaps, who had her back turned. And with that first dead ball of the quarter, let's send it over to the third member of our team, Cole Emplett. Cole, what do you have for us here in your first time on camera? Your first time on the broadcast, I should say.
Listen, this Ohio State squad has been great so far offensively. Of course, Taylor Mikesell leads the way with 18.9 points per game, but 5 Buckeyes are averaging double figures. Not only are they first in assists, but also first leading the Big Ten in points per game. So this Buckeye squad knows how to move the ball. Back to you, Caleb.
Thanks, Cole. You're absolutely right. Ohio State averaging 90.8 points per game while only allowing 60.8. That's a differential of 30 points, Hannah.
They move the ball. They do a great job of moving the ball, and they're very unselfish. Every single player on this team knows how to score, and they don't care who scores as long as they come out on top with the win, which I think is great to watch.
It's over to Heigerstrand. Back to Phillips on the wing. Pressured by Theory. Phillips drives in, pulls back at the charity stripe. Over to Heaps. Heaps lost it for a moment. This is Kayla Cooper. Left-hand dribble off the glass, off the mark. Taylor Theory crosses half court, kicks it over to Cotie McMahon. Cotie McMahon hot from the field, and she buries another one there.
How about Cotie McMahon? She has all of Ohio State's points. She has.
Ricky Harris picks off a pass, right-hand layup off the glass. Harris, her first 2 points of the night. And here's an area where Albany can really make you pay. They are outscoring opponents 31.8 to 24% from three-point range, but we have yet to see them pull the trigger from deep. There's one, and buried did Heigerstrand. Lily Phillips took one shot earlier from beyond the arc, but she missed it, and there's one buried for Heigerstrand to put that field goal percentage, or the three-point field goal percentage, back to 50, and Cotie McMahon is going to be fouled again. She's headed to the line for her second and one tonight.
How about that? She takes it to the hoop, misses, gets her own rebound, puts it back up for an and one.
Cotie McMahon, physical through the start of this game. She's got 11 on 5 of 6 from the floor.
She's powerful, too. It's hard for them to stop her as she drives it in.
11 points and 2 rebounds. She leads her team in both of those in the early going. Heaps. Now over to Haney. Haney with it again, commanding traffic from the point. Hand off to Heaps. Freya Vert kicked it over to Kayla Cooper. Cooper off the wall and missed it. A long touchdown pass for Mike Sell. She barely keeps it in play, but throws it to the wrong color jersey. They'll call it out of bounds before that. And it'll be Morgan Haney who's throwing it out of bounds.
Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in the action.
Green in the corner, drives baseline. Right hand, 2 steps, flipped it around, and too strong off the back iron into the hands of Kayla Cooper. Down the floor to Heaps. Heaps at the wing. Cooper into Heigerstrand, too much on the pass, out of bounds.
There it is again, as we were just saying, that they've been struggling with their passing to connect, and I think it's again because of the strong defense that Ohio State is playing. They're really turning up the pressure, and the Great Danes are passing a little rushed, playing a little forced offensively.
Shoemate drives in, kicks it over to Theory for the alley-oop layup. Taylor Theory soaring up to connect on the feed from Shoemate and puts it through.
She caught that one in the air and put it up for the finish.
Phillips crosses half court. Buckeyes leading by 10 here with 2:20 to go in the first quarter. Heigerstrand calling out Heaps. Now goes away from the screen. Cooper with it at the right elbow. Back over to Sanford. Back to Cooper, who pulls the trigger from the left elbow and missed it. Ricky Harris had the rebound with her right hand but couldn't pull it in and knocked it out of bounds. Albany will get another shot at possession. Heaps from under the basket, kicked it in. Now in the hands of Heigerstrand. Heaps pulls back, kicks it out to beyond the arc, and buried again was Freya Vert. 2 for 2 from 3 is Freya Vert. Down the floor and off the glass, Ebony Walker. Ohio State pouring on the scoring here. They lead by 9.
We've talked about the depth Ohio State has. Walker checks in. She's in for all of 10 seconds, and she's able to put up a score. So no matter who they sub in, it has to be refreshing to know that they have that offensive depth.
Phillips over to Heigerstrand, takes her second 3 of the day, and she's off on that one. Ricky Harris, right hand dribbles it over to Mike Sell. Mike Sell switches over and lost it off the foot of the cutting Vert and knocked it out of bounds. Ball in the hands of Theory. Drives in, right hand finish, it's good. Taylor Theory. Ebony Walker with the turnover. Now down to Mike Sell. Mike Sell pulls from deep. In and out off the iron. Phillips switches directions. 37 seconds to go in the first quarter. Ohio State by 11. Heigerstrom looking for someone. Finally finds a cutting teammate in Freya Vert, who finishes inside. Final 15 seconds of the quarter. Ricky Harris looking over to the sideline for a call. Burning time now with the dribble. Over to Theory. Drives in, kicks to Mikesell. Another three. Off by a bit much. Too strong on the three-pointer. Out of bounds. With 1/10 of a second to go here in the quarter. And there's the ceremonial toss-in. Couldn't. Taylor Theory with it now. Over to Cotie McMahon, who was easily the best player offensively in that opening quarter for the Buckeyes.
She's leading the Buckeyes with 11 points. She has 11 of their 21. She's also leading Ohio State in rebounds with 3 so far tonight.
Over to Heigerstrom now. First possession of the quarter for Albany. Haney off a screen. Kicks it back over to DeCortis. Heigerstrom lost it. Late in the shot clock. Got to take a shot. Now it's a right hand underneath layup. And it was too short. It was rejected by the rim slightly and then knocked out of bounds. They'll say it was off the hands of a Buckeye underneath the basket. Albany will get another shot at this. Freya Vert kicked over to Grace Heaps. Heaps defended tightly by Theory. DeCortis under the basket to Heigerstrom, and she puts it through.
She's playing a great game, 9 points already tonight. She's been able to find those back cuts and those openings at the basket. She's had some long-range success as well.
Heigerstrom certainly doing her part to keep the Great Danes in this contest. Mikulashikova no good from deep. We talked about how good she is beyond the arc. 43.8% is the clip there. Unable to find her rhythm tonight. DeCortis with it now, driving left hand. Over to Haney. Haney buries it from deep. Morgan Haney, 1 for 1 from 3 with that.
And just like that, it's a 4-point game. The Great Danes are really having a comeback here at the start of the second, really strong.
Mikesell over to McMahon. McMahon driving in, left hand. Over to the basket, too strong off the window. Albany with a 2-for-1 opportunity here. Heigerstrom at the point, kicks over to Haney. Haney buries her second in a row from 3. Heating up from beyond.
Albany struggled in the first quarter to find a rhythm offensively, but it looks like they came out in the second and they found that rhythm. It's long range. They were struggling at the basket, but their shots have been excellent here in the second.
McMahon driving in once again, too strong off the backboard. And we'll get a foul underneath. It looks to be a push on Lucia DeCortis. And it is. Shooting the free throws once again is Cotie McMahon. She's 1 for 2 from the free throw line tonight, pending these 2. Unable to convert the first, she'll get another. McMahon now 2 for 4 from the line as she buries the second. Theory gets a steal underneath on the inbound pass and puts it through for Ohio State to give them the lead, 22-20. Great awareness from Taylor Theory. Heigerstrom over to Phillips now. Phillips at the point, calls for Heigerstrom. Kayla Cooper with it now, over to Grace Heaps. Heaps guarded by McMahon, and she's checked and hit the boards as Heap. Inbound pass connected to Heigerstrom. Eigerstrand lost it off the hand of Madison Green and flipped it up through two different defenders to put it through. I don't know how she converted that.
I don't know, Mikulashikova had a hand on that ball as it went up, and she still was able to land it in there.
Helene Heigerstrand now 5 of 6 from the floor, including 1 of 2 from the arc.
She has 11 points. She is half of the Great Danes' points so far tonight.
Mike Sell, no good from 3. Kayla Cooper across the center logo. Phillips trying to set something up, kicks it over to Sanford. Sanford to Cooper. Vert lost it off the defense in front. They get it back. Phillips from 3, spins around and settles in.
And Ohio State now trailing for the first time so far tonight. The Buckeyes' 2 leading scorers so far this season, Mike Sell and Mikulashikova, are scoreless so far tonight. They're going to have to find a way to get some offensive success if the Buckeyes want to get back in this game.
Albany ahead by 1 with 5:52 to go in the first half. Mikulashikova again, no good from 3, and that's hurting Ohio State. Albany 5 of 5 from the floor on their last 5 shots. Phillips goes right side, calling for a screen. Sanford into Phillips, wide open, left-hand finish. Lily Phillips now with 5 points on 2 of 3 from the floor.
We've been talking about those back cuts all day, and finally they found success there.
Theory trying to get the Buckeyes back in this, down 3. Madison Green, tough contested layup, won't fall. Rebound goes to Cooper and the Great Danes. Down the floor, Cooper pulls up mid-range. Won't fall. Rebound goes to Taylor Theory. Buckeyes looking for something. Mike Sell tries to get it from 3 and finally buries one. She wanted that to get into rhythm.
That got all the Buckeye fans loud in here tonight. She finally gets on the board for first bucket of the night.
And we'll get a 5-second violation underneath the basket, or potentially it's a timeout, and they'll get the timeout first.
McMahon, she's not been one of them. She's been heating up a lot so far tonight. 12 points already. She's been the staple of Ohio State's offense tonight.
Grace Heaps with it, now over to Sanford. Karen Sanford kicks it into Lucia De Cortez. Here's Haney. 3 seconds on the shot clock. Haney pulls the trigger from beyond the arc. Missed it left, but gets her own rebound and tosses it out right in front of our broadcast table here on the sideline. They'll say last touch by Ohio State, so the Albany Great Danes will get it back. Looking to once again get in the lead here. Haney. She's 2 for 3 from deep and 2 for 5 from the floor so far today. Grace Heaps still looking for her first points of the night. Lucia De Cortez over to Sanford. Sanford pulls the trigger from mid-range, won't fall. Mikulashikova got a left hand on it, knocked out of bounds. They'll say De Cortez was the one who knocked it out. Madison Green bringing it up the floor with 3:48 to go in the second quarter. Ohio State tied 27-27. Taylor Mikesell, who just had her first 3-pointer of the night moments ago, she takes another, too strong off the back iron. Into the hands of De Cortez, who kicks it over to Haney. Sanford over to De Cortez. Crosses over to Sanford, back to Haney on the wing. Guarded tightly by Madison Green. Screen from Vert goes unanswered. 3 seconds, late shot clock once again. Pulled the trigger from the corner and wouldn't fall for Freya Vert. And a collision sends Cotie McMahon to the ground, and it'll get Albany another foul.
Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in the action.
Still very fresh in the minds of the Albany players. Haney is double teamed by Mike Sellen Green, had to throw it in. It was off a few hands, now on the ground in possession of Madison Green. She's trying to find something, and it'll burn the clock out. We'll head to halftime, 34-31. The Buckeyes leading by 3. Here on Helene Heigerstrand and Lucia De Cortez. Heaps with it on the wing. Guarded by McMahon, she kicks it into Heigerstrand. Heigerstrand, 2 dribbles, backing down. Theory pulls around and buries one from the baseline. First points of the half.
Heigerstrand has been very impressive. She has 15 points so far tonight. She's really been carrying the Great Danes offensively. But talk about carrying for the Buckeyes is McMahon, now with 19 points. The next highest scorer after McMahon for the Buckeyes is Taylor Theory with 6. So there hasn't been a ton of offensive production outside of the strong efforts from the freshmen.
Mike Sell, scoop layup with the right hand. And you mentioned Heigerstrand and McMahon, 2 ladies whose shoulders have to be aching from supporting this offensive load for their respective teams. It's been incredible, their performances to start off this game.
They've done a great job, and you know, in the second half, we're gonna need some offensive production from some other players as well on both sides.
Lily Phillips kicks over to Morgan Haney. Heigerstrand back into Haney, who gets it to go off the glass. Madison Green bringing it up for the Buckeyes, crosses the midline. Into Rebecca Mikulashikova, back down to Green in the same play that Albany just ran moments ago. McMahon short off the rim at that 3-point attempt. Madison Green tries to finish the rebound, and she'll be fouled in the act of shooting and head to the line, shooting her first few free throws of the night. We mentioned Ohio State, not the best number from the line as a team, 69.5%, but it certainly could be worse.
It could, and you know what, we haven't seen a ton of fouls out here tonight, but we have seen some and ones that McMahon has been able to convert.
And no free throws to speak of for Albany as Madison Green buries her first. 39-35, a 4-point lead for Ohio State with 8:24 to go in the third quarter. That free throw took some time before rattling in. Morgan Haney kicks it in to De Cortez. De Cortez up ahead to Sanford. The Norwegian kicks it over to Haney. Grace Heaps pump faked at the 3-point line. Drives in, kicks out to Heigerstrand. Heigerstrand, thinking seriously about pulling the trigger from deep, decides to drive in instead. Missed screen from Heigerstrand to Heaps. She puts it up at a fading shot clock and could not connect on the 3-point attempt.
Not her best shot. She could feel she didn't have much time left, about a second and a half to get a shot off.
Theory storms the lane and finishes with the left hand. Put it behind her as she was falling towards the out-of-bounds line in a spectacular finish.
8 points for Theory tonight. She's playing strong. As we said, Ohio State hasn't been connecting from the 3-point line, so they're going to have to find their success taking it to the hoop, and that's what they've done a great job of, drawing the foul and driving the lane here in the third quarter.
The Ohio State sophomore unable to convert the 3-point play. It goes into the hands of Sanford. Now over to Heaps, back to Phillips. Heigerstrand with her toe on the line, kicks back to Phillips at the wing, now goes point. Heaps over to Sanford. Sanford back to Heaps. She pulls the trigger on driving, pulls back. Kayla Cooper now at the top of it all, drives to her left side. Sanford back to Cooper. Cooper shielding off Mikulashikova and finishes with her right hand inside. Kayla Cooper. She's now on the board, 1 for 5 from the floor with her first 2 points. She does have 6 rebounds, though, all of them defensive. Cotie McMahon dumps it into Mikulashikova, back out to a wide open McMahon who pulled the trigger, put too much on that 3-point shot. Lily Phillips now across the center line. Cooper dumps it into Heaps, and it was tipped on the connection, and they'll call a foul. We'll see who it's against. It goes against Madison Green. It'll be her first. We'll take another look at it. It just looked like a hand in the wrong spot for Green.
That's what the Buckeyes have been struggling with a few times tonight, unintentionally getting a foul. We saw McMahon got one as she was tripped up a little bit there earlier in the first half.
Meanwhile, Heigerstrand shield off Theory. She's unable to put it through. Madison Green cutting the lane, and she finished with her left hand, falling towards the baseline. Difficult shot with a brilliant finish for Madison Green.
She shows her ball handling skills. She does a great job of driving the lane, the crossover, and the finish there. She now has 6 points tonight.
Green, 2 of 5 from the floor, is yet to pull one from deep. Cooper with the left hand, headed over to the wing. Heaps pulls in from just inside the three-point line. Can't convert. Taylor Mikesell running the floor now for Ohio State. Drives in, kicks out to the corner. Three-point attempt off the mark once again for Ohio State's Taylor Theory. And the Buckeyes shooting 2 for 14, now 2 for 15, 13.3% from beyond. Sanford over to Phillips. 7 seconds on the shot clock as Cooper faces the rim. Unable to get that to go off her layup. Cotie McMahon full steam ahead, now over to Green, who has to settle it down to the corner. Green shoots it from deep and buries it. 1 for 1 in her first three-point attempt of the night. Into Sanford, finds Haney. Haney immediately double teamed by Mikesell and Harris. Trying to find something, ball is loose into the hands of Day Cortez. And they'll call what looked like a double dribble. It'll go in favor of Ohio State, they'll get the ball. Mikulashikova will toss it in from the sideline. Get a timeout on the floor. Ohio State ahead by 10 with exactly 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. We'll take a break here on Big Ten Plus. Gets the first possession outside of this timeout for Ohio State. Cotie McMahon drives baseline. She's double teamed, fights through contact, gets a foul. And she'll head to the line once again. She's already been to the stripe for 4 different free throws. And she's 2 of 4, including 2 of those which were to cash in on potential and one. She was good on one of those instances for a three-point play.
What I love about her offensive game is she's not afraid of contact. She drives right into contact, and that's how she's able to draw the foul a lot of times. Really powerful, strong player. She doesn't play like a freshman. Seems like she's an experienced college basketball player out here.
Ohio State on a 6-0 run for the last minute 39. Meanwhile, Albany has not had a basket for the last 2:27 and counting. Haney looking to change that and end the drought. Vert kicks it into Heigerstrand. She buries it falling away at the baseline. Finally ends that drought. It was at 2:33. 4:20 to go in the third quarter. Ohio State 48, Albany 39 here in Columbus. Cotie McMahon hands over to Green. Green, baseline near side. Heads over to the left elbow. Now to Mikulashikova. She's immediately swarmed by purple jerseys, but a physical finish inside. Finessed with the right hand and put it in.
That is her first basket of the night. She's been a score leader for Ohio State all season long. She, up until tonight, was averaging 17.2 points per game. Scoreless until just now in the third quarter. She was able to make it happen.
Morgan Haney tried to get it into a wide open Heigerstrand. Unable to connect on the pass. Mikesell now the other way for Ohio State. She gets it in once again to Mikulashikova, who buries her second straight with that right hand. And we'll get a timeout, Albany.
And second bucket of the game there before the timeout. And as we said earlier, sometimes all it takes is one score to really get things heated up. As we saw, she had back-to-back buckets.
Mikesell short on her first attempt and then too long on the second, trying to get some second chance points. She was unable to fall. And she's been somebody who's had particular struggles from three, 1 of 7. That was going into halftime. Hasn't taken a shot from beyond since that point.
She only has 5 points so far tonight, a little uncharacteristic of her, but it's refreshing to know that the Buckeyes can still keep the lead when some of their top scorers aren't performing well. Other players have been able to step up, as we've seen from McMahon tonight.
Across the line to Freya Vert. Now a few passes later in the hands of Morgan Haney. Kayla Cooper with it. Across to Heigerstrand, who lost it as she tried to connect with Vert. Up ahead to Cotie McMahon. Takes a pound dribble and goes in. Physical contest into Heigerstrand. And able to get the deuce, 54-39 with 2:43 and counting down in the third quarter. Almost a steal for Madison Green. They'll call it a foul as she was draped all over on that steal. To mention Madison Green and her assisting, she leads Ohio State with 58 helpers this season, averaging 5.5 assists per game.
She's really done a great job of stepping up. As we mentioned, J.C. Sheldon out with an injury, and J.C. Sheldon has big shoes to fill. She's been an outstanding player for the Buckeyes, but Green has done a great job of stepping up, making an impact offensively. As you mentioned, getting those assists. She's a really strong player, well-rounded.
Heigerstrand gets her turnaround jumper to fall. Now in the hands of Ricky Harris. Shoemate pulls the trigger from deep and knocks it in. Bangs home the trifecta. Emma Shoemate to get her first 3 points of the night. She's now 1 for 1 from the floor. And another foul. Grace Heaps connects with Haney. Inside for Heigerstrand, and perhaps Shoemate got a hand on it. Either way, it was knocked away. And now Ohio State with possession. Ricky Harris to the point, hands off to Mikesell. Mikesell back over to Harris. Harris now to the point, to the corner to Bristow. Bristow back out to the wing, now into Walker. Walker guarded by Cooper, pulls the trigger and missed it off the rim. Rebound pulled in by Heigerstrand and given immediately to Haney. Well, now in the hands of Cooper. Turning around, guarded by Walker, and finishes. 57-43, Ohio State a 14-point lead with a minute to go in the third quarter.
Ohio State looking to remain undefeated. This is the first time the team has been 10-0 since the 2011-2012 season.
Ricky Harris, no good off the back of the rim. Haney across half court to the near side wing. At the point now, it's Vert. Kayla Cooper at the elbow, trying to get it to Vert, who had her back toward her. Bristow picks it off. She's running a 2-on-none and finishes with her right hand. Had Mikesell trailing as well, but decided to take it herself. Evan Bristow on the board with her first 2.
And with that, every Buckeye who has played tonight has scored tonight.
Scoop layup won't fall for Morgan Haney. She tracks down her rebound with 10 seconds to go in the third quarter. Ricky Harris playing defense on Haney. Switched over to Shoemate. Haney lost it, has to pull a prayer that goes just off the glass in front. Off to the left on the shot from the scorer's table. Evan Bristow now with it on the wing. Walker kicks it over to Shoemate. Back into Bristow. Hand off to Shoemate. Shoemate, a perfect 1 for 1 from the floor as she converted a three-pointer in the third quarter. Turnover there for Ohio State. Albany the other way. Grace Heaps Kicks it over to Lily Phillips, who moves over from the scorer's table now to the wing. Guarded by Harris. Picks up her dribble, feeds it in to Heigerstrand. Heigerstrand backing down Walker. Turnaround jumper from inside the paint. Buries it. First 2 points of the quarter go to Heigerstrand and the Great Danes. 14-point lead for Ohio State. Mike Sell with her right hand headed over to the wing. Now over to Bristow. Wide open three from the wing. Rattled off the rim. Rebound goes to Walker. Second chance points won't fall for Ebony Walker. Good use of the turnaround to try to get some points for Ohio State. But Albany now switching sides, going the other way. Heigerstrand over to Day Cortez. Now to Heaps. Heaps, guarded by Harris, goes to her knees. Loose ball, and it's a jump right in front of the official in front of the Albany bench. As Ohio State has fought back from what was a close game at half. Only a 3-point advantage for the Buckeyes, who many people had favored in this game by a big margin. That kind of speaks to how good Albany is coming and played today, if they're able to keep Ohio State on their toes in that opening half at least.
They've played really well. They had a slow first quarter, but they were able to turn it up after that. And one of the main difference makers that probably is keeping Ohio State in the lead is turnovers. If we look at turnovers, Ohio State only has 4, whereas Albany has 14. Ohio State has done a great job of forcing those. So we see a big 3 from Taylor Mikesell, her first one of the night.
2 for 8 now from beyond is Mikesell. She hit one in the first half, but has been silent since then from beyond the rainbow at the 3-point line. Sanford on the wing, drives in left hand, pulls back at the elbow. Phillips, storming the lane, scoop layup is good. Lily Phillips now with 7 points. Harris gets it over to Mikesell. Mikesell, jab step, now left-hand dribble. Over to the point, takes another 3 and buries her second straight. Taylor Mikesell, perhaps she's getting hot here.
She's definitely getting hot. She went from having a slow game to now 11 points.
Sanford on the wing, puts it back to Phillips. Heaps, over on the wing now to Heigerstrand. Back over to Heaps. Drives in left side, pulled back to the arc. Day Cortez pulls it in, a loose ball. Turning around, fighting a double team, flipped up a shot, and they'll call a travel.
Albany now has 15 turnovers, and as we've said, that has been part of why they're trailing Ohio State. Ohio State has played a much cleaner game with only 4. They haven't had a ton of defensive pressure.
Ebony Walker at the top of it all. Over now to the wing, Green. Green slices in, storming the baseline. She had 3 purple jerseys around her. Ended up trying to get it over to Theory, but then off a shoe in front of an Albany player. It'll be Ohio State ball out of bounds. Over to Walker, back to Green. Green drives in and no good off the front of the rim, but they'll call a foul and she'll get opportunities at the line. Take another look at this. It'll go against Kayla Cooper. No, they'll call it on Heigerstrand. 2 shots for Green at the line. Buries the first. Madison Green now a perfect 3 for 3 from the charity stripe, pending this 4th. She would love to stay perfect here. And she does. Ohio State now in front by 20, 67-47, with 6:39 to go in the game. Double teamed, and now over to Sanford. Sanford pinned at the half-court line. Here's Walker, stolen away, And into contact. She's unable to convert the shot, but another foul on Albany. And that was a tough situation for Sanford to be in. She was basically triple teamed. Well, actually covered by all sides. If you look at the scores table, out of bounds to her left, the half court line, which would have been a back court, to her back, and then two Buckeyes right in front of her, in front and to the right.
It's really tough to be pressed this hard for an entire game. So I have to give Albany a lot of credit. They've been able to break the press and find some offensive success, but it's tiring to have to do that for an entire game. But on the contrary, it's also tiring to run a full court press for the Buckeyes for an entire game. So definitely getting their cardio in tonight.
Certainly speaks to the conditioning of both teams. A feed from McMahon to Mikesell is good. 24-point advantage for the Buckeyes, and Albany wants a break. Higerstrom tried to connect, and now out of bounds right in front of us. Last touched. Last touched by Ohio State, it looks like, as Albany was going to pass it in. Sorry for the delay. We had no idea what was going on in front of us. The official was saying something. We're trying to lend half an ear to listen to him and then determine who it went out on. Lily Phillips now at the wing. Higerstrom kicks it out to Vert. Vert unable to convert at the three. She wanted a foul, didn't get it. Green taking advantage of some miscommunication between the Great Danes defenders. She's unable to convert, and the ball goes out of bounds. It'll be last touched by Green.
With the Buckeyes leading by more than 20 points, you might think they'll let up a little on defense, but they're still running that trap. Defense playing really hard all the way through. They might run this all the way through the end of the fourth quarter.
Higerstrom with it at the wing. Over to Phillips. Back to Higerstrom. Dumps it into Cooper. Unable to get the roll off the rim. Unfortunate turn of events there. McMahon slicing, dicing through defenders and finishes with the right. Cotie McMahon, have yourself a night. 24 points on 10 of 14 from the floor, including one from deep. Grace Heaps double teamed by Ohio State 1 and 2, Harrison Theory. Up ahead to Day Cortez. Lucia Day Cortez pulls back, kicks it over. A few passes later now to the first time tonight from Fatima Lee. And she gets her first points to go. Fatima Lee with 2 points. 73-49, 4:38 to go in the game. Cotie McMahon over to Taylor Theory, drives in, takes advantage of a gap between the Great Danes. Harris now to Green. McMahon in at the stripe, backs in, immediately converged on by 3 Great Danes. Had to force it out to Walker for a shot, no good. Pulls in the rebound, does McMahon. Tries to put up a second chance opportunity, no good. And on the third chance finish is good from Ebony Walker. Walker now with 6 on 2 of 5 from the floor.
And how about McMahon? Following her shots and rebounding, she has 7 rebounds tonight. She's leading the Buckeyes in scoring and rebounding. She's done a great job of, if the shot doesn't fall, she's the first one in there crashing the boards, not only on her own shots, but for her teammates as well.
Ebony Walker will throw it into Madison Green. No, this is a new Buckeye on the floor. It's Kaya Henderson. Ohio State on fire offensively. Are on a 13-2 run in the last 3:35. Henderson pitched it to the wrong team. It was Cooper who came up with it. Cooper, the junior out of Frederick, Maryland. Kicked it over to Lee. Fatima Lee, right-hand drive. Pulled it out to the corner, and Cha-Ching buried it. Did Freya Vert. Freya Vert, the sophomore Swedish native cashing in. She's got 8 today, including 2 of 3 from beyond the arc. Bristow, crossover, right hand finish as she was falling away from the bucket. Knocks it down. 77-52, 3:07 to go, now down to 3 minutes exact. Lee drives in with the left hand, trying to finish it as she was going back to Cooper. More of an afterthought, as by the time she decided to go with that pass, 2 Buckeyes were on it. Ricky Harris kicks it over to Shoemate from beyond the arc by 1.5 feet almost. Decided to pull the trigger from deep, couldn't hit. Heaps now. Left hand dribble, looking for something, heads over to the left wing. Turning around is Kayla Cooper. She gets it over to Fatima Lee. No good off the back of the rim. Rebound pulled down by Henderson. Henderson across the line. Bristow drives in right side. Hangs onto it to a cutting Ricky Harris now, and she finishes and one opportunity. Smooth finish as Ricky Harris was cutting. Bristow saw it, and a finish, a tough finish at that for Ricky Harris.
A great look and pass by Bristow to see Ricky Harris with that cut there.
Free throws here for Ricky Harris, and one. She puts it in. 3-point play converted for Ricky Harris. And she'll take a seat as Caitlin Costner comes in instead. First minutes of the night for Caitlin Costner. Vert. With it now over to Abby Ray. Ray kicks it out. And now driving in right-handed is Sanford, who had it denied at the rim. Bristow across the center logo, now over to Henderson. Henderson off a screen from Walker. Goes right in and uses an elbow to shove Taylor Moffitt to the floor, and that'll be called a foul. Kaya Henderson with the ball now. Drives in left side after getting it back. Now over to Bristow. Bristow from the right block, pulls it in and buries it. Smooth move, a big step, and a finish inside.
Bristow with 6 points. She's the only Buckeye on the court right now that has scored. They've got, as you said, practically their entire bench in the game to finish out this final minute of play.
3-pointer from the wing is good for Freya Vert. She's now 2 of 3, now 3 of 4 from three-point land, 11 total points. Ohio State going to come away with the win here. Their next up is Tuesday, December 20th at South Florida. It's part of the San Diego Invitational Tournament at Pechanga Arena in San Diego, California. And then the Buckeyes will end their 2022 campaign at home against Michigan to ring in the new year on December 31st at 1 p.m. Meanwhile, for the Albany Great Danes, after tonight, they're also next in line on Tuesday, December 20th. They'll be at Syracuse, and that concludes a 5-game road trip for the Great Danes, going back to December 6th at Dartmouth. They've had games at that time in 4 different states over that time: New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Ohio, and New York. We've been all over, particularly the eastern side of the country. Fatima Lee kicks it over to Sanford. Sanford from the wing. No good off the back iron. Rebound goes to Taylor Moffitt. Back to Lee. Commanding something with 5 seconds to go. Lee goes left side in final seconds. Shot put up and good. It'll count, but not enough for the win, as Ohio State holds on for a dominant victory, 82-57. What started off a close contest ended up in a blowout for the Buckeyes, and they'll be happy with that win to remain undefeated at a perfect 11-0.
The Buckeyes were led tonight by Cotie McMahon. She led in points with 24, rebounds with 7, and